Bo Jackson of Ohio State is being rumored to be possibly going into the portal for Ohio State. Ohio State has had a couple of freshmen make their way into the portal, Quincy Porter being one of them. Javon McFadden, an offensive lineman, also went in there. And so it's kind of uncharted territory right now for Ohio State. Ohio State has been a team that's been very good at keeping their players out of the portal. They've got a couple wide receivers going into the portal. They had a couple cornerbacks that they were expecting production from next year going into the portal as well. So it's a little, I mean, they have over 20 players in the portal right now for Ohio State. It's very interesting. And now there are reports coming out, there are rumors coming out that Bo Jackson may not be happy with his compensation that he is getting. Bo Jackson is originally from St. Joseph High School in Cleveland, Ohio. He was a freshman running back this season. Zach, get this, 179 carries. That would be third most of a freshman running back in the nation. 1,090 yards this season rushing, third most among true freshmen. And you think about it, he didn't even start the entire year. He didn't start to like, what was it, game 4, I think it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Six rushing touchdowns, so that's ninth most among true freshmen, and 6.1 yards per carry, seventh most among true freshmen. He is the seventh highest rushing grade on PFF among true freshmen. A fantastic season for Bo Jackson. It seems like he wants some more compensation financially to go with that. What are your thoughts on this situation, Zach?
So the NCAA stinks. That's my first thought.
Thank you. Yes.
Um, but in all seriousness, I don't know how much he got to go to Ohio State. It's tough because the way that the world is currently, like some people, and like I would resemble this, and I need to be careful because I have to remember the world we live in versus the world that it used to be. But I think people will look at this and be like, Bo is being selfish. He is not being a team player. And like if he's going to be that way, he should leave. And that's where I would tend to lean. I'm just being honest. But we live in this world where you can get millions of dollars. He proved that he is a pretty darn good running back. Forget freshman. He was a very good running back. And especially running backs, you don't get a lot of life in your playing days. And so I can understand from his perspective, hey, I would like to get paid. And if you're not going to pay me here, I'm going to go somewhere where I can both play and produce and get on an NFL radar. Which he's already on the NFL radar, but if he can get more money in the next 2 years before he can go to the league, then I understand that. But I think the bigger question is how does Ryan Day's philosophy, how does his philosophy with NIL jive with this? Like, how is this going to work itself out? Because I think Ryan Day has tried to kind of straddle the line between we want to pay people well, but also we want you to be here for the culture. And I'm curious to see is this one of those situations like their running back depth stinks? Is this one of those where you have to pay him? Because I think it might be.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting dichotomy because if you followed this Ohio State program closely, you know that Ryan Day and the coaching staff and people there have basically been saying, if all you want is money, this isn't the right place for you, which is very admirable to say. And it's something that I think a lot of fans can get behind if that was their team saying it. But the problem is like you said, Ohio State does very much so need Bo Jackson next season. I don't think it's terrible depth behind him. I think Isaiah West is probably a better back than some people might realize. But you did lose James Peoples, you did lose C.J. Donaldson, and so they're going to have to bring in another guy from the portal. But are you prepared to bring in somebody that might be as good as Bo Jackson? Not sure there's anybody out there right now like
Mm-hmm.
that. I mean, if it's in my opinion, if Bo Jackson entered the portal today, he'd probably be the second best running back in the portal, he'd probably be top 20 in the portal. You just look at his recruiting rankings and you know how that he's probably outplayed those the first season and how those kind of things work out. He would be at least top 20 in the transfer portal, maybe even top 15, but who knows for sure there. However, it's a very interesting dichotomy because I do think that Ryan Day is faced with a situation here where he has to make a decision. Is he going to hold true to what he has said time and time again, or at least what we think has been said and kind of what's been reported about Ohio State, which is that this is not the place for you if all you want is money, or on the other side of things, is he going to, you know, pay the guy because he knows he really needs this running back in his room because right now there might not be anybody else even close to how good Bo Jackson is there out there right now. I mean, obviously other guys can enter into the portal, but I don't think you really want to gamble on that. I think there's a not many other running backs out there that are even near the level of play of Bo Jackson, and so you have to figure out what to do in this situation. And I mean, like there's been some chatter out there about it. Nobody knows the confirmed number, but I mean, there are people talking that like Bo Jackson wants more money than Travion Henderson is making in his first year in the NFL right now, which would
Yeah.
be pretty pretty incredible. So it's a good amount, and it's a very very interesting situation to see how this might play out.
Yeah. I I think the hard thing is that and this people might criticize me for this take. I don't think it's worth it. And now I the NIL stuff has to get fixed. Like this is insane, and it is ruining college football. And I'm not just saying that as a Buckeye fan. Like, and someone said, "Is this the first time an Ohio State fan is losing a starter?" But it's this type of holding out for this type of money. At some point, you run out of money. Like it's just not sustainable. This model. And so we need to find a way to get this straightened out.
Somebody call up Les Wexner. Let him know. Bo Jackson needs to get paid. Bring him back to Ohio State. Yeah, I think it's very interesting. Honestly, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. I think both have so many pros and cons, and I think if you do this with Bo Jackson here, you're going to have a whole lot of other players on the team kind of side eyeing this and saying, "Okay, so you wouldn't do it for Quincy Porter, but you do it for Bo Jackson." Okay.
Yeah.
I do think it makes a little bit more sense than doing it for like a Quincy Porter, because that was probably a situation where he was probably looking more at the NIL payments of a Chris Henry Jr. and saying, if I've been here for a year, why am I not making something close to that? But that's just speculation as well. We don't know if that's for sure. So it's gonna be very interesting how this all plays out. Bo Jackson is obviously a huge piece for Ohio State next season. If he gets paid, I think he'll stick around. If he doesn't get paid, sounds like he might enter into the portal. All of these rumors just popped up today here on Wednesday, January 7th. So we'll see how it all plays out. But I mean, do you have any type of prediction? Do you have any type of thought on what's going to happen here? How much confidence do you have in it? What do you think, Zach?
I mean, if he's demanding a certain number, I'm not sure that Ryan Day's gonna budge on this one. And so it's funny when you sent the topic, I started looking at different websites to see if he's gonna enter the portal. So I would say maybe 70-30. Jackson's gonna enter the portal.
Mm-hmm. Chad Adams says you can get 1,000 yard running back out of the portal for 500K in 20 minutes. Can you? I don't have the transfer portal memorized, but like I don't see a whole lot of guys. There's about 35 running backs in college football that got over 1,000 yards last year. The only guys that I see that are in the transfer portal that got that are Caleb Hankins, who's already going to Oklahoma State, Wayne Knight, who's already going to UCLA. That might be it. Jaden Bob, but I think he went back to Florida or he's going somewhere already. Raleek Brown, that would be the other one, but who knows how much he wants? He's from Arizona State. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting situation. You might be right, Chad, and that would be the gamble that they might have to take.
Yeah.
So
I this is the other, and I know I said I don't think it's worth it. I think the hard thing is that these are 18 to 22-year-olds that are making 6 or 7 figures already. And I think the frustrating part about this is, like, do you realize how much money that is at 18? And they want more. And it's I'm curious who the agents are in their ears telling them to go after more. And this isn't against Bo, this is just in general. It's like, I get you might be comparing your numbers to other people, but at some point, you need to just stop and realize that going to different teams year after year is can be more detrimental than it is good chasing the money.
Yeah, I mean, you and I know that, but I mean, these are 18, 19, 20 year olds that are seeing the money, and
Yeah.
sometimes their, you know,
Well, and
family knows that they're going to benefit from the money as much as they are.
agents
So,
and well, that's my issue. It's the adults. The adults in the room are screwing this up.
right. Well, and
Like,
at the end of the day, this was the biggest sin of the NCAA is for all of this to happen, and there were never any regulations for agents or anything like that. I mean, you got
yeah,
guys' roommates in college being their agents right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. So,
yeah.
so yeah, we'll see what happens. Very interesting stuff. Not exactly fun stuff to talk about, but very interesting stuff.